Well, I didn't realize how flimsy this setup was. This is supposed to rotate up, stop the paper, but the catch on this side where it pivots broke off. And it's way too small to glue, so another do-it-yourself job at home. I could probably reorder the parts, but that would probably cost more than the whole. Probably cost about as much as the whole printer to order the parts, and that's a lot of money. So we're going to do it. I'm going to try to use. Well, we're going to try to use this bolt to stop it. It's paper clips, but came up with a different idea. We'll use a bigger bolt, and we won't rotate that at all. We'll just have the bolt coming up to the stop. That's the plan. Now, might not work at all. Might end up just throwing the whole thing away. Not the whole printer, just the whole flip-up deal. We'll come up with something else later. But hopefully I can do this without. I would go without the flip-up deal at all, except that flip-up deal keeps the paper slide from going in too far and getting jammed. Paper glide. The paper glide. The paper slides on. Okay. Gold 14.4 watt D-bolt drill. I hopefully sell the 18 volt drills on my site. I gotta get another distributor, another supplier first. Hopefully go to D-bolt straight and not cut out the middleman. I can do that and get it for a lot more price. We'll see. Right now we're just going to drill a hole, put the bolt in there, and see if it works. Oh yeah, I was going to get a clamp on that so it didn't spin out. I was going to put a clamp on here so it didn't do that. But it worked out, I think. I had a smaller hole, starter hole for it. This is a glide, it's with the paper slide on. Without that to stop it, you press it in there and jams, and then you gotta really yank it to get it out. I don't want to do that. See if it's both going to fit. Nope, too small. Gotta be the next size up. Well, that's not the first time that happened. There. Almost fits in that one. And we're gonna go with the next size up pole. Well, I used some plastic to go with my apple. That's the American Diet now. Why don't I put plastic in your diet? You want to live forever? Well, no, kind of. Kind of wouldn't mind it. So it's kind of expensive. Marlboro we don't need. Next size bigger is what we're going to use. There's a lot of birds on it because it's been used a lot. She falls off. She do that right now, but I still don't know how to pause the camera. I'm pretty tight. I'm gonna have to go grab a couple of clamps. One clamp anyway. I had to go grab a couple. I can remember where I put them. I think these are too small. That's the longer ones, but I can't remember where I put them. Pretty sure I labeled the drawer where I put them in. They're probably out there in the garage. No, I didn't put them back there in the garage and back. That's way too small. But it's just right for that. I saw these old clamps only because too much competition for it. You can buy these any place in the world. Go down to Lowe's and get these, or your friendly neighborhood. Hardware store, whatever that is. Not friendly neighborhood. Hardware store, whatever that would do this. Well, I'll try to clamp it here. This way. Problem is, when you clamp it up this way and you're drilling down this way, the crossbar sometimes gets in the way of the drill. I run that problem when I'm sawing a lot too. I clamp down everything I saw on a sawhorse. If I can't use my left hand to hold it, you just clamp it. It may look tedious and very frustrating. You might think, I don't have the patience to do all this stuff. Well, if you had a head injury for a very long time at all, you're going to learn patience because if you want to do anything, because there's just, you just have to learn different ways to do it. And whatever you do, you got to learn a new way to do it. I don't have to flip it anymore, so I'm going to try and find the other clamp. I'm going to check in there and see if I got it. If I don't have it, then I'll go without it. That's all I'm going to do. The balls connecting. Well, I found them, put them in a box with all the other clamps, the big clamps. I walked for two really big clamps. I almost cut those big clamps, brought them out here, and that would have been way too much overkill. This should be the right size for this. I'll let that stupid light on in there. And these are just barely big enough. Just barely big enough is just about right. I'll keep it from flipping up, I think. Well, if we can get a hole anywhere near straight through that thing. Well, it clamps helped a lot. I'm going to put one nut on the top and one on the bottom so it sticks out at the top a lot. Going through. I'm going to need a flat screwdriver. Hang on a second. Ideally, you would get all your tools ready beforehand before you do something like this, but I wasn't expecting on breaking this tonight, and I'm just going to take around the computer a little bit before I went to bed. Before I went to get something to eat and went to bed. Going through, I can see the bottom of the bolt coming through the bottom. So, don't be too far. Where's the other nut? Over here. There's a bigger nut, yes. Now I need to get a wrench for it. Too many wrenches up. Oh, look at that. And a quarter. Greater than 15, 16? Can't do it. Five 16. Six 16. 3. Oh, boy. It's probably a fucking record. Well, 3/8 will turn it, but I think it's slightly smaller than that. I don't think it's a 6.5. I don't think we have a 13/32 wrench. I know I don't have one. It's probably a metric nut. Probably a metric nut, that's why it doesn't quite fit. Well, what are we going to do about it? And the bolt sticking up through the hole, 1/4 of an inch, will do the same thing that this plastic thing did when you flipped it forward. Stop the paper from going out and landing on the floor. That's all it's for. Doesn't look quite as pretty, but hey. And I don't know if I can... Get to move out now or not. Now it's not moving out. Why is it not moving out? I have no idea. Well, we might have did something wrong then. I don't know what. It's not too many parts there. Yeah, I'm taking it back out again because this thing isn't moving. It's supposed to move. And there's nothing there to stop it from doing anything. I don't know why it didn't come out before. It must have just got jammed in there. I drilled the hole. Now it's a little more precarious. Let's stick it out. Another piece of plastic that I can break. Where else are most of the films I am? I'm talking about looking at the back of my head while I'm doing something and you can't hardly hear what I'm saying. Well, that's the way it is. My transcript when I don't read some of the stuff. I'm not really saying anything right now. I'm just Kevlar and I wasn't on right now. I'd just be cursing at myself right now. I'd be cursing. Trimmer, I would be cursing myself. Maybe some of those plastic bits got stuck in there, and that's why it didn't move out. I don't see anything else that would stop it. This is the sort of stuff that tries most patients. No one will go through there, it was there before. Pull it out and brush off all the little plastic pieces that got stuck in there when the drill was going through. Maybe it won't jam this time. But who can tell? If I need to, no difference in doing this when it's sitting out this way than when it's in. Except that I know it's out now, it's moving. Maybe I just got something crimped in it. Oh, I see. I drilled through the bottom of the through the bottom of the casing too. I didn't want to do that. That's what was holding it. The bolt was through there's a piece of plastic on the bottom of this casing. It flips up that holds the paper. I'm not flipping it down because I got this clamp on it. I'm not going to drill anymore, so I'm going to take this clamp off. That's what the problem was. Do a hole through the casing. But we're not going to do that. Just get this nut started. Got a little solder set in there. Probably might even have some of your parts on there, but I wouldn't be able to get that thing started with that because too shallow socket for that. We've got some time constraints here, so we'll okay, we're not drilled through the frame now. Well, we got a hole through the frame, but don't have the bolt through the frame. I'm not locking or anything on this, but we're not in a submarine or something. It's not going to vibrate itself loose. Like an airplane or a spaceship. Or figure out a way to get this house to fly, I'd do it. I have a thing called a spin dizzy field in science fiction novel by James Blish. It's called Fate in Flight novels. He found a way to make these force fields around the city that fill off the air and made and cut off the gravity, so cities would just fly off the planet. And what they did is they went to different planets and they'd use up their resources until they were out of it, and they'd go to another planet. Leaving each planet as they go. Right. Fine, right? The slip up than it was before, but it's not quite as flimsy. It's going to be if I raise this lip tightened up. Let's go on ahead and try to get this socket set. See if I can find one that will fit that. Where did I put the sockets? Got one in here in the bathroom, and I got another one in the toilet. Oh, I had some big questions. That's right there. Could you? Same thing. You just never know. Somewhere in this mess there might be a socket that will actually fit that right. It'll probably be metric. Millimeters. It's smaller than 9 millimeters. Eleven 30 seconds. What do you know? It is an 11:30 seconds. It's not metric. I bet there's a metric one in there. It's almost exactly the same size as this. I'm going to put that back on just so it's a little bit easier to film with. No, I don't have 11:30 seconds. Anyway, it's just too much call for it. It's a shame. Well, I haven't had dinner yet. These apples are bad. Well, I thought they'd go outside and see if I could grow an apple tree. I don't like in this climate. My grandpa used to it, but this time we grew trees freezing. And what was I going to go do? I was going to get per pliers, that's what it is. I don't generally like to use pliers on that, but I don't have an 11/32 combination wrench or any kind of opening wrench, so it's okay sometimes to use pliers. Okay, that's good, it's tight. It's not going to come off. Doesn't go, away, but that's alright. It won't get jammed that way. Goes in far enough. And it'll stop the paper coming out. I'll lubricate it a little bit and blow off the rest of the plastic bits, and should print something out. And what are we going to print? We're going to print that page. Oh well, print anything. Print Kodak 32, that's okay. How many pages? 1. We're just testing it. That kind of awful. And it's printing now. We'll see if the paper will push that out. And yet not fall on the floor. Lubricate a little bit so it'll slide out farther, but with this thing flapping down, it's Won't take quite as long a piece of paper as it did before. But it was broken before and now it's fixed. It's not repaired, but it's fixed. It'll work. And a lot of times that's all you want to do. This kind of stuff. If you want to get something brand new, then you have to buy something brand new. Those are tough. None of us can afford to do that right now. I don't care who you are. It's just not worth it. A little dinky thing like this breaks. Printer still works. I have no use for that page. The whole blank side of a page I could use to write on someplace. I'll save that piece of paper just in case I want to write on it. When you're doing a shoestring operation like this, you save blank side the paper. Spinning the bucket rather than spinning it myself. Okay, I fixed a job on a printer. Little busted plastic part. All I needed was a bolt close to the right size and a DeWalt drill. And you can just, these things are just priceless. I don't care how much these things cost. I bought 2 decks. Most of the repairs in the garage. Hire somebody to do part of it, put in the foundation, but to straighten it up and get the drawer going up and down, I do that myself. And I did it all with this thing and another drill that wasn't as powerful as this, and it eventually burned out. That's why you want to get a drill with a good horsepower, at least a quarter horsepower drill is not going to quarter horsepower drill is not going to hack at what you're going to do. You're going to rebuild decks and work on your garage, stuff like that. It's better to get something a little bit more powerful than you need than something too light. I did have a quarter horsepower quarter drill that lasted a long time, and I got about maybe a quarter of the holes drilled in the deck before it wore out. And I started using the drill I got for driving bits, driving screws, drill holes, because it was more than a quarter horsepower, but it wasn't anywhere near what this is. What is this one? I have no idea. This one's a 14.4 volt. The battery is 3,000 milliamps, which is came with a 2,000 milliamp battery. And the 3,000 milliamp was just like night and day for power on this thing. I got that. Now I'm trying to sell the lithium batteries, so I like those better. They're more dependable, they got more power, they last longer, they don't burn out as much. But if you got other tools that are nickel metal hydride, you probably want to stay with that because The chargers are not interchangeable for lithium batteries and nickel metal hydride. Not interchangeable. You can't use those things. Doesn't matter what the milliamp is, you can use a nickel metal hydride charger on it. It might take a day and a half to charge the thing instead of 15 minutes. It does with this one, this battery with mine. Once it's charged, it'll last like about the last 2 or 3 weeks of normal use with me. I don't know how much that it's going to be with lithium batteries. Probably going to be a lot shorter charging time than that because it's made for this. This is enough upgraded battery for this one. Okay, we're going to answer. You don't need to see me put tools away. Well, that's an important part of any job is putting the tools away where you can find them the next time you use them. We've got one on there. Turns out I use that. Used it once, I'll probably use it again. I've used it before. I wasn't going to leave this running while I put tools away, was I? Sorry about that. Maybe making the roll. Well, till the next film, the next thing, till something else breaks and I can film it, repairing it, hopefully with something that I'm selling. I'm selling clamps, but I'm not selling these clamps. I'm selling clamps that you can use better with one hand. I'm going to buy some of those so I can demonstrate them. Be a good idea, wouldn't it? Yeah. If I had money, I would. Alright.